Today we are going over mobility drills for snatch workouts. So if you are in an Olympic weightlifting program, or you're just a recreational lifter, a hobby lifter, even if you're competitive, if you are going into a workout with snatches, even if you're in CrossFit or you're just working out on your own, garage lifter, you need to be doing these. So the very first one, very simple. You're gonna grab a band, both arms in, straight up overhead. You're gonna try and keep the elbows straight, and you're gonna sink your weight into that stretch, but keep your chest up. All right, the second one, very simple. You're gonna leave that band on the rack and then just take a big step back, right? Whatever foot you put on the floor, that's the arm that you're grabbing the band with. So again, if you grab the band with your right arm, you're gonna put your right knee on the floor. Now, we wanna try and sit our hips back. Your chest is gonna come down towards your knees, right? You're gonna feel this stretch in your lats. We wanna try and point our thumb up. So we don't want any internal rotation, we want external rotation, keeping that thumb pointed up. All right, the next one, again, you're gonna keep that band right on the rack. You need a bench, and basically this is like a chicken wing. So we're gonna let that arm go behind the back, try and keep your chest upright. This is gonna try and pitch you forward. You're gonna try and resist that and stay upright. You're gonna see, if you put yourself on video like I just did, now watch this right arm. This right arm is nowhere near up as high as the left arm. So we can see that I have some tightness on that right arm, and that's okay. Everybody is gonna have a strong side and a weak side, and usually the strong side is a little bit tighter. Perfectly fine. Everyone has this. So we just work on it. We just try and even them out as best we can. All right, moving on. Again, we're gonna keep that band on the rack. You can also use this one for front rack stretch if you are going to do cleans, clean and jerks, or front squats. But I also like to do this one for snatches. So we're just gonna get our elbow in. We're gonna take a step forward, right? Same side. So my left arm is in the band, my left foot is going forward. We try and keep our chest up and try to let that band pull that elbow back. Now, moving on, we need a new piece of equipment. This is called a yoga wheel. Some people call it, you can find it under an ab wheel, but the ab wheel is usually used for rollouts. So what you're looking for is a yoga wheel. These usually come in 3 different sizes. You can get them in a package of 3, and you want to start on the smallest one. Because I have long arms and I've been doing this for a long time, I can just about touch the floor. So if I go on the medium-sized one, the weight will go right to the floor, and I want to let that weight hang. Now, when you first start out with this, I highly recommend not using weight. Not a good idea. Just get that stretch without the weight, and then you can slowly progress with very lightweight and then get a little bit heavier to get more stretch out of it. Now, last thing we're gonna do before we move on to our barbell warm-up is pipe mobility. So we just take a piece of PVC pipe or a broom handle, and we're gonna go through all these stretches. So first thing I'm gonna do, call it a skim. So I'm gonna skim the back. What you wanna think about doing is keeping that super close, right against the back. It's always tougher to do during the summer when it's really hot and your skin is sticky. If you're wearing a shirt, it makes things a lot easier. Then we're gonna go front to back. All right, try to keep your elbows straight. Now we're gonna do the same exact movement, except we're gonna go around in a circle. Again, we try to keep the elbows straight and just rotate the shoulder inside the socket. Now we call these helicopters. So moving on to these helicopters, first one is gonna be for the elbow, And the next one is gonna be behind the shoulder. You can see it a little bit clearer on the front, right? We're gonna pull, and then we're gonna put it back behind the shoulder, and we're gonna pull again. We're gonna do 5 sets on each arm. Then after that, we're gonna very simple. We're gonna go overhead squat, and all we're gonna do is some behind the neck SOTS presses. Super simple, but again, we're just getting those shoulders warmed up, getting that upper thoracic warmed up. And then we're just gonna go into some back bends. Very, very, very simple. But what I think about doing is going back on each back bend just a little bit more. If you sight your eyes up the ceiling, you'll see where you're going. After that, I just try to get down to the floor, a little bit more of a hamstring stretch there. And then that's it. It's time to move on to the bar. Now, after your workout, this is one of our favorite post-workout shoulder rehabs. We use the band, so these are known as pull aparts, and super simple. You're gonna see these in a lot of programs for shoulder stability and strengthening the back of the shoulder. And next, we're gonna move on to a band with handles. If you have one of those crossover symmetry kits, they work really, really good for this. But you can just use a band. You don't have to go super heavy on these. So this is a rotation, a Cuban rotation plus a press. Cuban rotation plus a press. Now we're gonna get into an external rotation. Now, big key here, you can see my elbow is starting to come off my rib cage just a little bit. I actually wanna try and avoid that. So we wanna try and stick that elbow. Right side's a little bit better. So we go through 3 sets of this, 10 to 15 reps each one, and you'll feel great.